Today, I decided we're gonna be talking about the types. Okay, I was watching Gossip Girl a while ago. I love Gossip Girl. Low-key kind of just lives rent free in my mind. So I was like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna talk about it. Cause the one character I just can't stand. It's like all the characters aren't good people, but the one I just can't stand the most will always and forever be Serena Vanderwoodson. I'm gonna tell y'all why. I even wrote it down. Serena Vanderwoodson. The Serena Vanderwoodson of people. I'm going to explain. Serena Vanderwoodson is a girl who never can take accountability for how much she messes with people and just hurts other people around her. Serena Vanderwoodson is the worst type of person. If you know the type of person I'm talking about, it's the girl who tries to defend people from bullying, but she herself is the bully. And I feel like everybody, especially girls, have encountered at least one girl like this in their school years. Because it's hard not to. It's like a rite of passage of meeting that one girl she's a good friend until she isn't, if that makes any sense. And it's like, who knows, you might have even been that friend at one point, and that's just sometimes how it is. But Serena is just the type of girl where something will happen, but it will never be her fault. Serena's the kind who will who'll be your best friend, but the second it doesn't benefit her anymore, all of a sudden you guys are enemies or whatever. So Serena is just that girl you don't really want to be around. Serena is the girl who acts innocent but can backstab you at any moment, the homewrecker and cheater, pretends to be the it girl, yet when the spotlight is taken from her, she gets jealous. Friendly and nice, but not a good person. Just as crazy as Blair, but less upfront about it. We present to you the gorgeous 5'11" blonde Miss Serena Vanderwoodson. That's very accurate. Basically, it's that friend who's happy for you all until it ends up taking the spotlight off of them. It ends up, or you're just outshining them, or you're getting the attention that they want, basically. Basically, it's somebody who could be a good friend to you, but they aren't, because as soon as you are no longer beneficial to them, or as soon as you have something that they want, they're nowhere to be seen, or they're like your number one enemy. And then you're like, the real definition of who needs enemies when you have a friend like Serena. Because at least with Blair, she's the same as Serena, but she's upfront about it. That's what makes a difference. If you know in school, it's okay if a girl or somebody doesn't like you, and if they're gonna talk crap about you, at least they aren't pretending to be your friend, you know? So it's even if they don't like you, at least you're an honest hater. But what's worse is somebody who pretends to be your friend, pretends to care about you or whatever, but then the second that you're not around or whatever, it's they're your biggest hater. This doesn't even have to go for friendships. It can honestly go for anybody in your life. Where the second, when you're with them, when you're hanging out with them or whatever, when you're talking to them, they're all for you, everything. But the second you're away, they realize, oh shoot, you're doing better than I am at something or something like that, all of a sudden nowhere to be seen. The good friend where? So I just thought about it, and I was like, I thought somebody should talk about how Serena is, because in Gossip Girl, all everybody ever does is talk about how she's this amazing friend, and oh my gosh, Serena and Blair are nothing alike, or Blair's way worse. Why do you guys hate Serena? At least Blair's honest about who she is. It's the same as Chuck. At least Chuck doesn't pretend he's this awful self-righteous person. Unlike Dan. Dan is a stalker. He is Joe from you guys. He is. And he was preparing for that role his whole time. He didn't even know it. But Dan and Serena, they're basically Chuck and Blair, but at least Chuck and Blair are upfront about it, and Chuck's worse, you know? But that's just something I don't like, though, is how Serena Serena's that friend that you don't really want to be friends with, because the second it benefits her, you're out of there. If she has to tear you down to get to the top, she will do it. But then she'll act like she was doing you a favor, that you were wrong for being upset about it later on. So that's just the kind of friend Serena is. And I just wanted to talk about that, because nobody ever talks about how crappy Serena is. It's always, oh my gosh, look at this. Oh my gosh, Blair's 10 times worse. What about Jenny? Jenny, the reason nobody has grace for Jenny. They love Chuck. They love Blair. They love Serena. They love Dan. They love Lily and Rufus. But when it comes to little Jay never pretended to be self-righteous. That's something I always hated in Gossip Girl, was people acting like Jenny was just this horrible character. I'm sorry, are we forgetting that everybody else did something way worse than Jenny, but for some reason Jenny's the only one getting the hate? It's valid, but keep the same energy with all the other characters. That's the thing I don't like. You're upset that Jenny did so-and-so to Blair, or did whatever with Chuck. Who cares? It's a thing of everybody, it's basically this kind of applies guys too. They'll hate on you. It's like, it's basically, it's okay when somebody else does it, but it's not okay when you do it type of energy. That's another thing that, like, Gossip Girl, these type of characters and how people treat these characters, it can also be in real life, where people just have these exceptions for others. It's like, okay, it's okay when this person does it, but when I do it and it's like not even the worst thing this person's done, all of a sudden, it's like, it's the end of the world. It's kind of like if I forgot to take out the trash, an uproar. Absolutely. Also, by the way, nobody causes an uproar. If I don't take out the trash, I don't even take out the trash, you guys. I think my dad does that mostly. Or my mom. Like, I don't even take out the trash. But it's like if I didn't take out the trash once and there's this giant uproar, but then there's somebody that never takes out the trash and always finds a reason for why they can't take out the trash, but it's not even actually a reason, it's an excuse for why they'd rather be painting their nails or reading a book than taking out the trash that takes 2 seconds. It's like that. It's like, okay, so when it's me, it's a problem, but when it's this person, all of a sudden, it's like the same energy. That's the energy with people, that how people treat Jenny. And so I was thinking about it too. I always think, so imagine people, also those people, when you try and argue with certain people or try and like say your point of view about a TV show when you're talking to people that like a TV show like you do, then all of a sudden their point of reason, you cannot reason with people that have like their mind set on something. It's like if somebody has their mindset that ketchup is like the most awful condiment in the world, while mustard is just the holy grail of all, like the holy grail of all things, you're not winning that. It doesn't matter how much like you try and say or do, you are not winning that conversation. It's the same as people, it's like if they refuse to see a point just so that way they don't have to see any side of how they might be wrong, that's another thing. That's one thing I noticed too. It's like these are also kind of like a little bit of the Serena Vanderwoodson type people, where if you have a good point, it doesn't matter if you have to use a scenario or whatever to get your point across. It does not matter what you do. If that person really does not want to even see in the slightest bit how it might be wrong, they're not going to see your point of view. Because you can always tell when somebody's going to refuse to see how even in the slightest bit that maybe what they did is a little bit wrong. That's just kind of how it is, and that's okay. But yeah, Serena Vanderwoodson isn't a bad person either. She just does a lot of bad things like everybody else in Gossip Girl. But it's but acting like you're a good person who never does anything wrong, or like you're a saint, while simultaneously not being that, is like weird. And that's kind of what Serena does. And so I was like thinking to myself, how can I explain these type of people? And Serena Vanderwoodson, kind of people who defend this behavior, is like kind of the best way to explain it, or is people who don't keep the same energy with certain characters, or basically don't keep the same attitude. Because it's like, how is it that the second you were just like, it's the same thing with the other way around too. You were just talking crap to me about somebody I don't even know, but the second they walk up, all of a sudden you're best friends. That's really weird. That's really weird. And so that's like a situation I also thought was like always so weird. It's like, I thought you just said you hated her. Yeah. I just want to explain, you know, the Serena Vanderwoodson type of people, because they kind of annoy me. But that's it. If you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.